I created a unit about Christopher Columbus because I'm in a third grade class for my fieldwork, and one of the history standards is about explorers, so I thought I would create a lesson about a well-known explorer. I also decided to create this on Google Classroom because the class that I'm in does use Google Classroom, and I've seen how the students kind of interact on it, but I haven't seen how the teacher goes in and creates a lesson. So I thought that this would be a good opportunity to do that. I divided up my unit into introduction, assignments, and then conclusion. So on the first introduction assignment, it's a quiz about who is Christopher Columbus, although I called it a questionnaire because I didn't want to freak them out about a quiz, but I also didn't want to say that it wasn't graded. I just want to see what they already know about Christopher Columbus. The next assignment is a KWL chart. So in the introduction part, I asked them just to complete the K and W portion of this chart. So what do you know about Columbus? This will help me see what they know about Columbus because the quiz is super specific, but this kind of gives them the opportunity to fill in what they do know. And then the W, what do you want to learn about Christopher Columbus? This will just give me an idea of what they want to know, and I can incorporate that into any future lessons. The assignments. So the first one is just a YouTube video to watch about Christopher Columbus, and it just has facts and information about it, and I asked them to take notes on that. That will help them with the rest of the assignments. The Christopher Columbus map is an assignment where I asked them to color Spain one color, color San Salvador Islands another, and then highlight where Christopher Columbus actually went on his trip. This is good for visual learners because they actually have a visual and they can see each country and the route. And it's also good for hands-on learners because they get to actually do that and color each one. The next assignment is a graphic organizer. So in class, we're going to read this book, Christopher Columbus, and then they'll have the video as well. And then they are going to complete this graphic organizer, which is PDF version, so they can just fill it in. But in box 1, they're going to write the year that Christopher Columbus took his voyage. Box 2, they're going to write where he was trying to find a shortcut to. Box 3, they're going to write what country paid for the voyage. And then in box 4, they're going to write where he landed. Then on the bottom, there's a main idea, or they can write a fun fact about Columbus. The next assignment is a what would you do blog. So they're going to imagine that they're playing on the playground and that they find a time machine and that they hit the button and are transported back to 1492. They have 1 month into talking their friends into getting on Columbus's ship with you or with them or staying in Spain. And then they're going to decide if they would get on the ship or if they would stay in Spain. They're then going to write 1 paragraph on whether they're getting on the ship or staying in Spain, and they're going to include the reasons why they chose to do so. And then they're going to respond back to 2 classmates on whether they agree with them or disagree with them. And I'm going to give them sentence frames because I don't want them to be too harsh. And I think with 3rd grade, you still kind of need to give them sentence frames. But this assignment will give them social and collaboration. And then it also is applying to the real world. So although they're not actually being transported back, they're given the opportunity to decide if they were there in that time, what they would do and why. The final section is a conclusion. And for the first assignment, they're going to go back to the KWL chart and they're going to complete the L column. So what did you learn about Christopher Columbus? This gives them a chance to think about everything they learned, write it down, and then they're also going to do a quick write, which is more structured. So they're going to write 1 sentence about Christopher Columbus's voyage, 1 sentence about his ship, and then 1 interesting fact that they learned. This just kind of gives them a more structured, and I want to know if they know what was taught. Then finally, I put a quiz in here just so they can, just so I can see what they actually learned and if they learned the correct information. And that is my unit.